Hi, I want to make a game. What? That's it? No introduction? Oh, okay, yeah, I should probably do that. Hi, I'm Dawn of Dawn to Dusk. I'm also Dusk, but that's not important. What is important is that this is where I'll be documenting my development as both a game developer and a creator in general. Another indie game dev channel? Yeah, just stick with me. I've got some big plans. Trust the process. With all that said, this being the first video on this channel, I wanted to do something big to kickstart it, and I have just the idea. See, I'm a big fan of a series called Content SMP. One member in particular, Windsweep, recently put out a video where he made his own mascot horror game in Minecraft. The video is really good, and you should really watch it before this, as I'll be assuming you're familiar with the original game. I was a massive fan of what Windsweep was able to accomplish, and wanted to do something to show it. Then I had a completely normal idea I'm sure we've all had. What if I adapted the map into its own standalone game? Now, I want to be clear. This video isn't trying to rip off Windsweep's original video. All of the original characters and concepts belong to Windsweep and his team. Instead, I'm loosely defining this project as a form of fan art. To that end, since I don't technically have permission to make this game, I won't be publishing it anywhere, except for sharing a full playthrough and this making of video. That may change if I figure out what I'm allowed to do, but that's currently the plan. Now, with all that out of the way, I think it's time to make a game. Oh, and did I mention I want to finish both the game and video in 2 months? Yeah, let's get started. Before starting, I want to briefly explain my philosophy when it comes to making games. I like to split the development process into 4 loose sections: design, structure, assets, and integration. Let's start off with design. Usually, during this phase, I take time to solidify various floating ideas and develop a concrete breakdown of the mechanics and plans that I can work off of. Though, in this case, the designing has actually already been done. Since this is an adaptation of an existing experience, I just need to define the mechanics that this game will feature. After rewatching the video, I've identified this list of primary features: basic movement, excluding jumping, a flashlight, photo camera, and sledgehammer, documents, both readable and carryable, 3 types of doors, communications and objectives, a FNAF-style security system, and the all-important shredder. While rewatching the video, I also took the time to get a rough idea of the map layout and the assets it would need, but we'll get back to that later. With the basic mechanics defined, it's time to move on to the structure phase and start making them. That leads to an important question though. How am I actually going to make this game? I'm nowhere near smart enough to make my own game engine, so I'll be using an existing one, Godot. Why Godot for something like Unity or Unreal Engine? Well, I'm fairly familiar with the other two, but I've barely touched Godot, and this is a great excuse to learn it. Godot is also much more lightweight, which matches the scope of this project much more than the other options. So now that most everything is figured out, let's start programming. Alright, so I'm about 2 weeks into the process of coding, and so far I've added some basic movement, flashlight, and some other things. Everything that was on my list has been added. So we have basic doors, doors that require keys, doors that you have to hold, sledgehammer and breakables, flash cameras, amateur poetry, breakers, which activate a security system, and shredders that destroy documents, and doors. Those of you who are keeping track of the mechanics I listed earlier may have spotted a notable exclusion: Smiley, the mascot of this mascot horror game. The reason for this is that Smiley is a lot harder to adapt than a lot of the other mechanics. You see, in the original video, Smiley was controlled by a player. I can't exactly do that in this game, so all of his behaviors will need to be programmed. After reviewing the video once again, I've broken Smiley's behaviors down into 3 categories: patrolling for the stealth sections, structured for the FNAF section, and scripted for any other instance of Smiley. Once again, now that these behaviors have been defined, it's time to bring them into the game. Alright, so as you can see, our Smiley stand-in is now patrolling between certain points on the map, and when it reaches one, it'll stop, look around, before selecting another random one. If it happens to see the player, it immediately starts chasing, but if you flash it, it'll momentarily stop, allowing you to potentially escape. But if you flash him twice, there's not much you can do about this situation. I spent about a month adding in the mechanics and framework for the game, as well as removing any major bugs, but now I think it's time for the next phase, assets. For modeling, I quickly decided on Blender as my software of choice, but what about texturing? In the past I've used Procreate, and that worked for those projects, but this time I wanted to try something new, Substance Painter. The only issue is that I don't actually know anything about Substance Painter, so let's fix that. Now that the tools are sorted, let's start modeling. Okay, so there's almost 100 models to make, so let's just jump 2 weeks to when they're all finished. I actually add an extra step to the texturing process that I want to briefly explain here. So, part of the aesthetic that I'm going for with this adaptation is a more pixelated approach to both evoke the PlayStation era of graphics as well as harken back to the more pixelated graphics in Minecraft. The way that I'm doing this is actually using shader nodes in Blender. First, I open up the image texture that I made in Substance Painter, although any texture image will work with this method. I then take the UV output of a texture coordinate and bring it into a vector math snap node, which I then plug into the vector of the image, and then you get a pixelated texture right in Blender. I then tweak the values until I get something I'm happy with, and then I bake it into a new texture, which I can bring into Godot. But now that all environment and gameplay models are done, it's time once again for Smiley. Now, character modeling is definitely one of my biggest weaknesses, as well as animation, but luckily there were a lot of references available, so I'm pretty happy with the final result. Having all of these assets is great and all, but I can't actually use them if I don't know what the map looks like. It took me a little bit to come up with a solution to translate this Minecraft map into my own tile-based system, but then I had an idea. What if I just make the map in Minecraft? This was actually the first thing I did for this project, just to see how feasible it would be for me to recreate this game. And it has been incredibly helpful getting an idea for how both the building should be laid out, as well as what the gameplay should look like. So, with all of the models created and the map designed, it's time for the final phase, integration. I recreated the map I made in Minecraft in the engine, and started adding in the finalized versions of the features I made earlier. This was also when I started adding in the various Smiley encounters, dealing with many bugs over the course of the next week. As things were coming together, I started to feel pretty good about where I was at. Hang on, how much time do I have? I've barely more than a week. I haven't even started the video. Well, nothing to boost efficiency like a deadline. Before I left for my holiday, I added a full save and load system, created a main menu, updated the player pause screen, and added in all of the sound effects.
I can see you.
While on vacation, I decorated the entire building with all of the models I made, and started preparations for the video. Once I got back, I spent a few days polishing, then put this video together. Finally, after 2 months of work, the game is done. I'd like to take a moment to shout out the composer for the game's music, Ailment. They're absolutely incredible and worked incredibly hard to get this music done in time. I'd also like to thank you if you made it this far. I really want to make something out of this channel, and this is just the first step. As I said earlier, I have some big plans beyond more games that I'd love to see come to fruition. Any support as I develop this channel is greatly appreciated. There's also a message from the original Smiling Protocol video that I want to reiterate here. The best thing that can come from creation is more creations. If you are at all inspired by either the original video or even this one, I encourage you to act on it. Even if you don't know how to do something, there are near endless resources available. To that end, I want to thank Brackies for their excellent Godot tutorials that teach the fundamental concepts of the engine. This game probably wouldn't exist without it. If you want to make something, get out there and make it. That's the message I hope to spread by sharing my own journey as a creator. Now, I don't want to just leave it there, so here's some footage of a scuffed playtest I did with one of my friends. Thank you for watching, and enjoy.
All right. Wait, is that my background? Why can I?
Why is it? Wait.
Wait, why is it?
Huh?
There's a. It's. It's transparent.
And I'll let you know, it doesn't do that on mine.
I'm gonna start a new game. Thank you. Welcome to your new job as a Smile Surveyor. Smiley Surveyor. We welcome you to the Smiley's family with open arms. Thank you. This document serves as a simple reminder that we are not liable for any stupidity that you may cause or any damages that you might obtain on the job site. As a formality, request you sign these documents or get up to you for a shift. I am will be on anything I see during my still remain confidential. Breach of this contract will result in. Okay.
Oh, you have a very interesting skybox there.
Boom.
Perfect.
Ah, I figured it out. It's the F button. There are many reasons to be excited. The door's locked.
Yeah, you have
It is.
to move
It's
your
not
mouse to
locked.
open the door.
Ah, okay. This isn't scary or creepy at all. Manager. Courtyard. Whoa. Bedrooms. This is indeed a bedroom. Oh my goodness, I can open the drawers. Oh my goodness, I can crouch. Oh my goodness, I'm figuring out so much. Oh. You're in the maintenance yard now. Nice. You don't actually need to go there tonight, so just look for another way back into the building. Oh my goodness, there's a box
Wait, what? I
poking
don't
out the
remember
side of
putting
the
that
wall. Oh, there's another hole. Great. Oh, it's a bathroom. Who took all the doors? Okay. Second floor. Now that you're upstairs, keep an eye out for the manager's office. That's, not scary. Can you not look at me? It's getting, up. I'm not gonna lie, that's, a bit worrisome. I'm not gonna lie, I just heard it stomping around.
So I just realized I forgot to put a sign in the building so you can actually sequence break. You're supposed to go into that room that you were just looking in.
Okay.
The door's on the other side.
Oh my goodness, of course it is. Hello. I leave this note as a warning. Do not trust his smile. That machine is evil. I swear to a higher power that moves without instructions. That's what I'm saying! The part of logic within me, why does it walk toward light but away from flashes? It's the only reason I can carry a camera. Interesting. That feels important. Okay.
Maybe you should look in those
Hi.
cabinets.
Hi there. We're chill. I got a camera. Oh! Okay. You know, I'd be careful with that camera. I temporarily lock the machinery, but too many flashes might have the opposite effect. Ah!
See
I'm gonna go the other way, I think, actually. Oh my goodness. Where's the maintenance closet?
It was in the room that you were just in.
Oh, of course it was in the room I was just in. No, you don't. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really want to go back in there. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, well, how am I going to get in here? Ah, that's how I'm going to get in here. Excuse me. Okay, don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. Do not look behind you. Hi. Move! You can head back downstairs. Funny story, 2 people actually went missing here. One was a child. I think it's why this place got shut down. It couldn't get its footing again. I mean, this was the first location anyway. It pales in comparison to the new stuff. Oh my goodness, where did it go? Alright. In here. There's no hatch. They must have sealed it over. Unless you don't have a sledgehammer. Yeah, I don't. Bit of a maze out there. But once you find the shed, it should have a hammer. Okay. I'm just looking for the shed. Oh no. Let's not get too hasty here. Oh my goodness. What is this? It's an exit lift. You'll probably be able to use it once you read out all the documents. It only activates at 6 a.m. though. Oh, how convenient. I remember that. Oh, not that way. Not that way. Don't go that way.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness, this
hey.
maze has a very different vibe with the starry background.
What's it supposed to look like?
It's just pitch black.
Okay, I understand how the doors work now. Pick up that sledgehammer and get to the water. I don't know why I have the urge to open every single drawer. I won't be able to communicate with you once you're down there. Builder's contracts, employee lists, and patient transfers. More power is also probably disabled, so you'll need to manually reactivate it. There are 3 breakers that, when enabled, power the shredder and security system. Good luck.
I can see you.
No, you can't.
You're so lucky. He must like you.
I don't really like him, I'm gonna be honest. I'm getting out of here. Oh, it's the other way. Oh! Okay, great. Somehow even more ominous and scary than where I just was. I have nothing but a camera to defend. Well, I guess I have a
Why are those?
sledgehammer.
Wait. I thought I tested.
Okay, cool. That's one of the things I had to do. Okay, great. That... Oh my goodness. No thanks. Nope, 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 nope. Okay. Okay.
Why are those the wrong way? Okay.
Okay.
I need to fix some stuff.
Oh! Oh! Run! Run! Oh! Ah. Yes. Great. Okay, now I just need to find the
those
documents. Bye. Okay. Great. Let's just close all the doors. Okay. We can close one door. Oh. Shred. Great. Hey, I know that sound. Run! It does not care about the camera! Ah! Where's 2?
Look out the
Tuesday.
window.
Oh!
No, you gotta use the door.
I'm on the wrong side of the door. Hey, actually, no thanks. No, thank you. 2 is that corner. Right there. Okay. Shred. Where are you?
Look out the window.
Oh! Yeah. Okay.
Do you remember which contracts?
I
or
do.
Which
I do.
documents you were looking for?
Discharge records? Why is there a skull? Am I gonna have to shred this too? Okay. What? What? Hello? Okay, immediately. Where are you? Number 3. That's right there! Okay, alright. Good job, everybody. Just shred everything. Just... everything gets... Oh, I see. It lights up. Oh! When I do the right thing. No!
Oh. I thought I fixed that bug. Is he stuck on a wall? He's stuck on the wall. I thought I fixed that. Well, this game's easy now.
Bro, you good? Haha,
You took the
stupid.
corner
Oh! Not stupid, not stupid. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, Oh,
Man, you're making a beat with that door.
okay. Get out! We can be friends, right? Is he stuck on the corner again?
Probably.
Hey, stupid. Oh! Not stupid! Where are you? He's so fast! Please! I have a sledgehammer, and I am not afraid to use it. I am not afraid to use it.
I was tempted to add a mechanic where if you use the sledgehammer on him, you instantly die.
Okay.
Oh. You might be a little
He didn't even see me.
Well,
He
so-
saw me! Oh. No!
Oh, that was close.
I have a sledgehammer and a family. Whoops. Hey, buddy. Hey,
He's
buddy.
so close.
Hey, buddy. Let's calm down, okay? Let's calm down. Let's calm down. I have a corner. I'm not afraid to use it. Oh! I just have to press the lever, and then I win. Oh. Where'd he go? He's there again! Stop! Stop! Did I miss it before? Wait. Get me out! No! Oh! Stop! It doesn't work! Run! Run! This way! What?
Huh?
Hello?
I don't know what you did.
What?
Where did he go?
I can't... What in the... What's... I'm getting out of here. This way. Hey, buddy.
Where'd he go?
Right. That doesn't work. Cool. Glad we verified that. And now I have to run. Boom. You run. And we keep running. And we keep running. The lift! Haha. stupid, can't keep up with me. See you tomorrow for your next shift. No thanks.